Good morning. My name is Dele Ayimibo, and you're welcome to another edition of Import-Export Platform Facebook Live from 3Thinkers Trade Academy. This morning we'll be discussing starting and managing export business, and we're looking at part 75, and we are still looking at the area of export market entry strategy. Export market entry strategy. We've been on this for a while now, and just the way we dealt with some other area that we spent a lot of time trying to educate the public on some of the very important areas, just to ensure that at the end of the day you are able to take an informed decision, especially when it comes to getting buyers for your product. So I'll continue from where we left up yesterday evening. If you were with us yesterday evening, you remember we were talking about market entry options, and we talked about the fact that in entering the export market, you need to put some things into consideration. We talked about the fact that some of the things you need to put into consideration include, do you want control, and what level of control are you looking at? What level of control are you looking at? And the level of control you are looking at will significantly affect eventually the kind of decision you take in entering into that export market. So what level of control are you looking at in the export market? Then the commitment. What level of commitment are you looking at? What is your risk appetite? What is your risk appetite? Your risk appetite becomes extremely important. Your risk appetite becomes extremely important. Why? Your risk appetite let us know what level of risk can you take. For example, we gave different examples yesterday, if you remember very well. We talked about direct and indirect export. Then we mentioned, I spoken about the fact that indirect, you will have to move in, dealing with people in the export market. But indirect, you are dealing with someone in your country. But we also talk about overseas production. We talked about the fact that you can enter into export market in 3 modes. There is what is called the export mode. There is what is called the partnership mode. And there is what is called the investment mode. The export mode, the partnership mode, and then the investment mode. And that whichever option you choose should be determined by the level of risk you are willing to take, the level of commitment you are willing to give, the level of control you are looking at. Because if you are doing export mode, that means your control over the market is at the lowest level, is at the minimal level, because you are doing export mode. But if you are doing partnership mode, then you have increased the level of control you have to some extent. Because at the end of the day, you have a partner you are working with, and you and that partner will now have to decide eventually how you are going to deal in that market. Then the investment mode. In the investment mode, you will have to, you have to set up yourself there. Now, this categorization has been done to help individuals take a decision on how they want to enter into the export market. Now, when you are dealing with the investment mode, sometimes you might have to deal with individuals who you will simply give them license. Or you give them a franchise. Or you have a joint venture. I'm talking about partnership mode now. Partnership mode. License, joint venture, contract production. But when I'm doing investment mode, I'm literally setting up, and I'm the sole owner of the company I'm setting up in that market. The partnership mode is also called the intermediate mode. So you can call the export mode low control, low risk, high flexibility. Low control, low risk, high flexibility. When I'm doing the export mode. When I'm doing the intermediate mode, also called partnership mode, also called contractual mode. I have a shared control, shared risk, and shared ownership. Shared control, shared risk, and shared ownership. If I'm doing the investment mode, some people call it hierarchical mode, then I have high control, high risk, but low flexibility. High control, high risk, but low flexibility. Now, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to give you an insight into the market. You know why? One of the reasons why a number of people are not able to do well in the export market is the fact that most of them don't even know the options available to them. And because they don't know the options available to them, that makes it very, very difficult for them to take the right decision in the export market. Being able to take the right decision in the export market is very important and very critical for you. Because at the end of the day, it makes it easier for you to be able to know, okay, what exactly do I want? My recommendation, export mode for the starter. Intermediate mode for the growing. Then for the established company, investment mode. Investment mode. So they can have all the control they want in the market and nobody is deciding for them, but they decide for themselves. They decide for themselves. They decide for themselves. And this is very important because the challenge for many is that many are unable to take the right decision. In fact, many that come into export, the first thing they think about is the export mode. Many don't even know the opportunity that exists. And I tell them, look, you can have a rep at destination in form of a partnership mode. And that rep can be a friend, can be a relative, can be an export management company, can be anybody you are able to get at that destination to work with you, to be able to enjoy all the benefit of having that kind of arrangement. Now, there are 4 groups of factors that influence entry mode. There are 4 groups of factors that influence entry mode. Before I talk about those group of factors that influence entry mode, let me talk about what I left off yesterday in terms of direct export, the direct export option. For direct export option, because I need to, when I lay all this there, it becomes easier for you to appreciate when I begin to talk about the factor influencing the entry mode. Remember I talked about the fact that you need to know the detail of the entry mode. You now know the factor that influence that entry mode. That then make it easier for you to take an informed decision. That then make it easier for you to take an informed decision. Number 1, overseas-based distributor. Overseas-based distributor. Overseas-based distributor. Who is an overseas-based distributor? It's a distributor in the export market who is buying from you and reselling. You know, most of the transaction we do as a business, we actually have someone at the destination in the UK that is acting as a distributor for us. So I'm telling you what I practice, what has worked for us, what I believe can also work for you. Overseas-based distributor. This is a distributor in an overseas market who buys from you to sell abroad. A distributor in an overseas market who buys from you to sell abroad. A distributor in an overseas market who buys from you in order to be able to sell abroad. Is different from an overseas-based agent. Overseas-based agent does not buy from you to distribute. Overseas-based agent help you to get the buyer, connect you with the buyer, facilitate the signing of the contract, follow up on payment and earn a commission. Follow up on payment and earns a commission. Being able to earn a commission is the focus of an agent. Being able to earn a profit on the sales is the focus of a merchant, of a distributor. If you are dealing with someone that is already in that line of business, most likely it will be a distributor, it will be a merchant. You are dealing with someone that is ready to buy off you and resell in the export market. You will be a distributor, it will be a merchant. Remember, this is the export mode. This is the export mode. This export mode is so critical and so important as a way of starting for you as an exporter. But don't stay there. Remember, you have low risk, you have low commitment, low investment, you have also low control. But it's not a bad way to start. Now, beside the overseas-based distributor and overseas-based agent, there is also overseas travel sales staff. Overseas travel sales staff. Overseas travel sales staff. Overseas travel sales staff basically travel from, the overseas sales staff will be easy a lot in Europe and in America or in China, because they need to travel from one location to the other looking for buyer. They are not just residents in the country the way an agent will do. They are a staff. This staff, that means, is on your payroll. It's not earning commission. It goes for state to state, province to province, locality to locality, country to country, looking for buyer for your product. When he gets that buyer for your product, he uses that, and he will do what the agent will naturally do. But the interesting thing about this is that he doesn't stay in one place. He will connect you with that person, and then you take it up from there, and he moves to another buyer. He moves to another country. He moves to another location. When he seals this deal, he just continues. If it's an agent keep any commission for every of those things they get for you. But overseas sales staff, you pay him salary every month anyway. You take care of his bills of moving up and down anyway. So he's happy to do the job. Moving from one place to the other, one state to the other, one location to the other, one country to the other. And that moves from time to time. From time to time. From time to time. Then we have overseas sales subsidiary. Overseas sales subsidiary. This is part of the partnership mode, but some people categorize it under the export mode. The reason why they categorize under the export mode is because under the partnership mode, production is made outside, together or separately by the other party you are dealing with. But in this overseas partnership mode or subsidiary mode, the subsidiary actually is the one that just sells for you. It sells for you. It helps you to sell in the export market. You have a stake in that company. You have a stake in that company. You have a stake in that company. Probably 50%, 70%, but you are partnering with someone else. And this is a subsidiary. And this subsidiary is able to help you to look for buyers, but it's in a location. Overseas sales staff, overseas traveling staff move from location to location. Overseas sales subsidiary is in one location. They have more, for this overseas based distributor and agent, they are not very committed to you. They will deal with your competitors. Overseas sales subsidiary will not likely deal with your competitors because whatever you make is shared. There's a sharing formula. There's a sharing formula. Overseas sales branch. Overseas sales branch. Overseas sales branch is similar to overseas sales subsidiary in function, but different in structure. Overseas sales branch is similar to overseas sales subsidiary in function, but different in structure. For overseas sales branch, you are the owner, full owner. They report to the headquarters back at home. You are the owner, full owner. They report back to the headquarters back at home. You are the owner, full owner. Overseas sales subsidiary, you are not the owner. You are not the full owner. Overseas sales branch, you are the owner, full owner. Overseas sales subsidiary, you are not the owner, full owner. You are sharing sales subsidiary with someone. You are the owner of the branch alone by yourself. You are the owner of the branch alone by yourself. But they both perform the same function. And what are the functions? They help to secure buyers. They help to market and sell the product. They help to secure contract, to facilitate the signing of the contract. They are witnessing the good being offloaded and quality inspection being done. They follow up on payment. They also help you to they attend the trade shows and trade travels in those countries. Trade shows, any marketing activity that can help you promote your product, they are always there to attend in those countries. Overseas sales branch. And the last one is storage and warehousing facility overseas. There's a woman I heard of from a major Nigerian distributing African product in the UK. He talked about this woman, and that this woman every time ship her goods. She's from somewhere in Delta State and she produces gari. But I understand that gari is of a premium quality. She will ship this gari to the UK, to London precisely, and she will fly in. This good will be cleared and moved to a warehouse. And then from there, she contacts all her buyers and prospects. They come into the factory, buy the product, move it to their factory, pay, the woman collect all her money, finish selling, fly back to Nigeria. Now, she could have done it the other way. She might not necessarily have to fly down. I'm not sure she still fly down. She will get people there. These people she gets there are Nigerians. Or, sorry, people living in that country who will help us to do the clearing and deliver it to the warehouse. They will help us to do the clearing and deliver it to the warehouse. And you know what happened? She then arranged, after the goods have been cleared and delivered to the warehouse, they then arrange, the same person will arrange for the people to come and pick it up. So she can work with overseas-based agent to arrange this storage facility. So they can store the good abroad. And in storing it abroad, they will now be able to make it a lot easier for her. Make it a lot easier for her to be able to sell. You know, I tell people who have rep and friends abroad, some people are even living in both countries. And I said, don't bother looking for buyers. What you want to sell, move it into those countries at the minimal level. Move it into the country at the minimal level. When you move those things into that country at the minimal level, then tell the people you want to sell to them. Typically, they will say, okay, bring sample. You tell them, I have it already in my warehouse. If they love it, they'll come and pick it up and buy. What that does for you, that shows you how serious they are. If the product is moving very well, they can then give you order to bring more for them specifically. But having a warehouse, if you are serious and you have presence on both sides, don't wait for someone to give you a contract. It doesn't make sense. Get the product into the country. Move it into those countries. When the product gets into that country, then begin to look for buyers. Be rest assured that for your research, the product is already in that country. People are already selling it in the supermarket. So that means there is a market. Number two, be sure of the price they are selling. So that when you are bringing yours in, yours is almost at par with theirs or even below, but not more. Remember, they have option already. If they have option already and your own product is now more expensive, you are telling them they can call your bluff. In fact, I would recommend you use the pricing penetration strategy or penetrative price so that you can use it to get buyer first. If your product is good and people love it, even if the price become increased later, but the people are already used to it, then you might be able to still be profitable. So be strategic in your pricing, very strategic in your pricing. So in direct export, the manufacturer ship the goods directly to the retailer abroad. The manufacturer ship the goods directly to a wholesaler abroad. But in indirect export, the manufacturer sells to a local person, a merchant locally who will do the export. That merchant locally will then export it to an wholesaler abroad, or export it to a retailer abroad, or export it to a large consumer abroad. Of course, the wholesaler abroad will eventually sell to a retailer abroad, or sell to a consumer, or sell to a large consumer abroad. So an exporter have two options. An exporter can ship through an export merchant or ship through an export agent. When the exporter ship through an export merchant, the export merchant can ship to an import merchant abroad. The export merchant can ship to a buyer abroad. The export merchant can ship to through an import agent abroad. Now, when a manufacturer deals with an export agent, that export agent can ship to an import merchant abroad. That export agent can ship to through an import agent abroad. That export agent can ship to an end user, a buyer abroad. Now, a manufacturer himself can ship directly to the import merchant abroad. A manufacturer himself can ship to that import agent abroad. A manufacturer himself can ship to the buyer end user abroad. And a manufacturer can also ship to his own sales subsidiary abroad. And these are all the options available to you as an exporter, especially if you are the one manufacturing your product. In the evening, I will continue this conversation. And in continuing the conversation, I'll be looking at the factors that influence export market entry strategy. The factors. The things that should make you decide which direction you want to go. Factors that influence market entry strategy. My name is Dela Imba. This is Import Export Helpline Facebook Live from 3D Material Academy. I'll be rounding off now and we'll see you in the evening. Remember to share this video with your friends. Drop your comment. Like the video and follow us on YouTube. Thank you very much and see you in the evening. Bye for now.